Hello, this is Crystal Racing here with the report for the 2021 Brazilian Grand Prix Sprint qualifying results. In first place and picking up 3 points is Mercedes' Valtteri Bottas. Made a brilliant start, took the lead straight away and never looked back. Yes, he had Max Verstappen on his tail for the remainder of the race, but he did a great job under pressure, and Mercedes will be very thankful for the fact that he took pole position today. And Total Wolf needs to give him a bit more credit because, Total's beginning to sound like a very ungrateful old man at this point. Second place, Max Verstappen, 9 out of 10. Made a worse start, but held on for second place, but got past Sainz very early on, something that his teammate could not do at all. So that's 9 out of 10. Third place, Carlos Sainz, 9.5 out of 10. Struggled with tyres, but did a fantastic job holding Perez off for third place and scored a point for his troubles, whilst Max Verstappen received 2 points, extending his championship lead over Lewis Hamilton to 21 points. Fourth place, Sergio Perez, 7 out of 10. Oh no, this was not a good performance, and the fact that Sainz finished 20 seconds behind Valtteri Bottas, I mean, the fact that Perez couldn't get past the car that was about a second slower than Bottas, not a good performance at all. Fifth place, and my personal driver of the day, Lewis Hamilton, 10 out of 10. Got sent to the back of the grid for an illegal technical infringement over his DRS flap during qualifying, meaning that he lost his starting position of first place, started from 20th, carved his way through the field like a knife through hot butter, and he will be starting 10th place tomorrow due to, of course, receiving a 5-place grid penalty for receiving a new ICE. But with the pace he showed today, do not count Lewis Hamilton out for the win tomorrow. Seriously, he looked brilliant today. 6th place, Lando Norris, 8 out of 10. Decent performance all round, but didn't really see much from him apart from the start. 7th place, Charles Leclerc, 8 out of 10. Of course, both Norris and Leclerc will be starting 5th and 6th. Finishing 8th but starting 7th tomorrow, Pierre Gasly, 7 out of 10. Made a bad start and never recovered. Finishing 9th but will be starting 8th tomorrow, Esteban Ocon, 8 out of 10. Made a great start and stayed ahead of Vettel, Ricciardo and Alonso. Finishing 10th but starting 9th tomorrow, Sebastian Vettel, 8 out of 10. Failed to make it to Q3 yesterday, but a decent start meant he will be starting. He finished 10th today and he'll be starting 9th tomorrow. Unfortunately for Daniel Ricciardo, he finished 11th and he'll be starting 11th. 7 out of 10. Average performance, not much else to say. Finishing 12th after a poor start, Fernando Alonso, 7 out of 10. Fell behind both Alfa Romeos, but of course after Kimi made contact with Giovinazzi, he got back in front of Giovinazzi, but crucially he got beat by Ocon today. Finishing 13th, Antonio Giovinazzi, 7 out of 10. Made a very good start, but of course got in front of Kimi, but then of course Kimi tried to overtake him around the outside, around both him and Alonso around the outside of turn 1, but it worked out very badly for the Iceman. Finishing 14th, Lance Stroll, 6 out of 10. I can't remember what he did, to be honest. Finishing 15th, Yuki Tsunoda, 6 out of 10. Finishing 16th, Nicholas Latifi, 7 out of 10. Outpaced George Russell in Friday qualifying yesterday and beat him in the sprint qualifying, meaning that Nicholas Latifi has now, of course, Friday was the first ever time we witnessed Nicholas Latifi outpace George Russell in what really was a one-lap qualifying session. And of course, because of the sprint race, it means that the stats from Friday qualifying don't count as official qualifying, but instead what happens in a sprint race does. So that means for the second time in his career, Nicholas Latifi has outqualified George Russell, quote unquote. 17th place, George Russell, 7 out of 10. He's washed. He's absolutely washed. Okay, I'm joking. 18th place, Kimi Raikkonen, 4 out of 10. Yes, I know he tried a very ambitious move around the outside on Alonso and Giovinazzi. Had he pulled it off, it would have been one of the overtakes of the season, but as it was, he cut too much back onto the inside, onto Giovinazzi, and made contact, spun himself out. Very fortunate that neither cars picked up damage, but that was over ambitious from Kimi, and thankfully both cars were able to continue, and Giovinazzi didn't lose a position, but of course he was later overtaken by Alonso. 19th place, Mick Schumacher, 7 out of 10. And 20th place, Nicholas Latifi, Nikita Mazepin, 6 out of 10. Very bizarre interview he gave out yesterday where he started crying over the fact that he made a mistake on his final qualifying lap. I mean, it was actually a very good qualifying lap when you take into account he was only less than 2 tenths slower than Mick, and the fact he's never visited Interlagos, but I suppose there's actually quite a bit of fire in Mazepin's belly, a lot more than I realised. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe to Crystal Racing, and I'll see you again next time.